In the teachings of Christ, he stated, "None shall go to the Father but me." How do you get past?
Through me.
How do you get past these doctrines which bring feelings of guilt into your meditation practice?
We have discussed about that before, about the mind, who gives us trouble with prejudice and previous knowledge. Jesus say, "No one go through the Father except through me." That is correct. And again, any master who is worth his name would say the same thing. Same Buddha say the same thing. If you don't meet a living Buddha, it's difficult to get liberation. That's what he said. Okay? That's why it makes the Buddhists believe that Buddha is the only one. And because Jesus said that and it's recorded, so the Christian believe that Christ is the only one. Yes. But any living master will say the same thing. If you come to me, I will help you to the Father, because the master is connected with the Father. We are also connected somehow, but we just need a little help to lift up, that's all. And that is called initiation and enlightenment. Now, the guilt, you should not bother. You can carry it if you want, but it doesn't serve anything. Ask yourself whether the Bible or any scripture, doesn't matter how well written, could bring you in the presence of God right now. And if not, then we can study the Bible and get in touch with God at the same time. Doesn't matter by what means. Because our purpose, our intention is pure. We worship God. We want to find God. And whoever or whatever means can bring us nearer to God. That is the purpose of the Bible, the purpose of Christ or anyone. And then remember again, Jesus said, "I am the light and the way of the world, as long as I am in the world." He said that, no? Okay. So after he's gone, he's not the light and the way, in a physical sense. So he has left us some of the teaching which guide us in our daily life. This is very good. But there's something of a silent nature that we have not got. That is the silent teaching. That can only be transmitted through silence. And that is the most important thing. That make us see God and bring us nearer to God. So whoever can help us in this way, you should not feel guilty to come to him.
Dear Master, what can be done for the poor people in the Middle East that long and pray for peace and don't get it? What is your relation to Judaism? You never mentioned Judaism in your teachings.
Oh, sorry. I can't mention all things in one lecture, but I study Judaism. I read many books of Jews, and I understood all of them. It's no need to mention all the religions, because to me, they all say the same thing. Only after enlightenment, you understand so many things that I don't have time to mention now or the whole rest of my life. You will understand it, and that's the best way, because that's be yours. If I just teach you always with my mouth and with oral teaching, and whatever knowledge I have, I pass on to you, and what will you be? You don't know it yourself. You don't experience yourself. Just second-hand stuff. Okay? Now, the first question, what do we do with the poor people in the Middle East? Because they don't have peace. We also don't have peace in the West either. It's different war. Economical war. Skeptical war. An enlightened war. Spiritual war. Discrimination war. Racist war. Anything is a war. If it doesn't give us love, kindness, and peace in our heart. So I think now we are here. First we take care of ourselves. Okay, peace first. Okay.
Why has the right meditation method been kept a secret? Are there dangers on the road of this method?
Sometimes, yes, sometimes. Because the problem is the method. It's never a method. It's not something that you can write down. And then you look at it and then you get it. It's transmitted within the soul, within the wisdom seat of your being. It's not to be spoken by language, not to be written, and not to be learned by any other way. That's why a master, a living teacher is necessary, because it's not oral, it's not physical. Can you understand what I mean? Yes, thank you. Let me be more specific. You cannot just read romance, novel, and then fall in love with the feeling, no? You have to have a person. So transmit the love between each other in order for you to feel the love. And a description of the mother's love will never satisfy a child. Is that right? Until the real mother comes. And just give it to him without saying anything. Don't need to write any book about it. Right? The child will be happy right away. And he knows it right away. And he's knowing. You cannot know. Because this is not the way. You know what I mean? Love is something we cannot write it down and be satisfied with and experience it. How much more the greatest spirit in the universe? We cannot describe it in language. We cannot teach it by any physical means. It just has to be realized through a realized person, through the help of a realized person. Okay? Thank you.
Master, I cannot initiate with you tonight. Is there another time?
Yes, any time after 3 months. If I'm not here and you want to get initiation, you should prepare yourself vegetarian diet for 3 months or so. Then I send someone. If I'm here, you can get initiation right away without any preparation.
How does one know when one is ready for initiation?
But if you don't know, who else? If you want it, then mean you're ready. If you don't, mean you're not. Okay?
Why do you say that your students should not use their energy or strength to heal? What risk
No risk.
does one encounter?
No risk. But we should not steal the job of the spiritual healers, because each one has different job. Yeah? And if you want to train to be in another field, then you should not mess about with another field. This confuse you, okay? Because the spiritual healers, the real one, many of them have got mission. They stamp on their hands. They have to do it. They like to do it. Yes? Too many spiritual healers, then everybody heals themselves and nobody gets sick, and the doctors will be out of job and the healers will be out of job. And what shall we do with all this?
We all come from the sound. Where does the sound come from?
That you have to ask the sound. That's one of the many questions. Is the sound just exists itself. Right? Many things exist alone.
Is enlightenment progressive or instantaneous?
Instantaneous, if we have the right friend, the right guide. Progressive, we will try many methods and try many teachers. Or we go around shopping from one master to the next.
Dear Master, you are the supreme and artistic master. When you create, I wonder, you are artist or master. What are the differences between masters and artists? While you are so busy with lectures, charities, interviewers from all kinds of organizations, TV, radio, newspapers, etc., do you still have time to create any painting? Thanks a lot, Master.
I don't know. I just do whatever comes at that time. Yes, when I have time, then I paint. It doesn't take long to paint or to design the dress. 5 minutes for dress designing and half an hour or 2 hours for painting. I don't sleep much, I don't eat much, so probably these are the time for me. in the evening. Or sometimes between the lecture you have time break, or you just feel inspired. So that is the time I paint or design artistic objects. Every one of us has to work anyhow, so we have to use our creative power to contribute to the beauty of this world, and at the same time could support our physical need, so we don't burden societies, and whatever we give out, it could be freely received and in a relaxed and secure feeling, not to oblige people with financial obligation or make them fear that they will, before they know the product, they already have to pay. Something like that. It is my opinion anyhow, yes.
Why did Jesus perform the famous miracle of feeding 3,000 people with 5 bread and 2 fishes? Why didn't Jesus feed them with bread only if Jesus is a vegetarian himself and wants people to be vegetarians?
True. But some people don't like to be vegetarian. You can't force them. Some teacher resorts to miracles sometimes, only sometimes. Therefore, you don't see Jesus do this every day. You see, only once or twice, because it was necessary. It was in a circumstance that he couldn't do otherwise, so he has to do it. But this miracle you can learn if you want it. Still, nowadays, some master in India still do it. You want to give you the address to learn. People still float on water, walk on air, eat nothing, or stop breathing for a long time, or forever, without dying. These are some alchemist secret, yes, that when you learn some kind of construction, the universal construction, you can know how to mix things together. Sometimes you can transform a dead body into delicious pudding, yeah, if you want it, or stones into bread, and to fish even. I suppose you are in the West and you know better than I do. You don't need to ask this question even. Read books. There's so many books on this subject. People make research in India. There's still masters or spiritual people, not necessarily a master. You can, transform just anything or nothing into bread. Yes, but they don't do it often for show. Just very special occasion. Very easy. It's no problem. Many people don't want to eat vegetarian, so Jesus was very compassionate and diplomatic.
Could you please tell me where I could find the books that states the Bible also wants people to keep strict vegetarian diet?
Oh, it's in the Bible itself. Like in Psalm 78, if I remember correctly, there are many books, there's so many quotations. I think in our booklet, Why People Vegetarian, we have collected some of the passages in the Bible which state that people should be vegetarian. Please refer to that. And if any more information that you need or you're still in doubt, please write to me, okay? Otherwise, we should go on and on about Bible references and people like to ask other questions. Thank you. Okay, let me say one example, otherwise you can't sleep tonight. See, Psalm 78. People ask God for meat, and God poured down meat like rain to them. And after that, he slain them all. And he said, meat for the belly, belly for the meat, and God shall destroy both meat and them. And another one passage is say, who told you to kill all these she-goats and he-buffalo to make offering to me? Wash yourself from all this innocent blood, otherwise when you pray I will turn my head away, etc. Is that not so? You remember this? Any of you remember? Please raise your hand. Thank you very much. So you see.
Vegetarianism in religion.
The Baha'i Faith, regarding the eating of animal flesh and abstinence therefrom, Know thou of a certainty that, in the beginning of creation, God determined the food of every living being, and to eat contrary to that determination is not approved. Selections from the Baha'i writings of some aspects of health and healing.
Buddhism. All meats eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. Lankavatara Sutra. Also, after the birth of the baby, care must be exercised not to kill any animal in order to feed the mother with meaty delicacies, and not to assemble many relatives to drink liquor or to eat meat, because at the difficult time of birth there are innumerable evil demons, monsters and goblins who want to consume the smelly blood. By ignorantly and adversely resorting to the killing of animals for consumption, they bring down curses upon themselves, which are